Hello and a very good afternoon. I'm Gracie Tyrrell. Today on London Live. Groups of students set off on a 1,000-mile trek for charity. We speak to Crossrail to find out more about London's new rail network, and we visit the Broadcast Video Expo in Earls Court to check out the latest gadgets. But first, since the coalition government came to power last May, there has been a number of cuts to the hundreds of UK public services. One of the most controversial announcements was the raising cap in tuition fees. Yet still more students are applying to university this year. Louisa Kremer has this report.
I'm here at Ravensbourne University in North Greenwich, where in recent years up to 20 students have fought for one place on a degree course at the institution. These figures are set to rise over the following months as the UCAS deadline for applicants approaches. Last year, the total number of university applicants hit an all-time high, seeing an excess of 580,000 people making their way through the UCAS application. Already more than 600,000 students have applied this year, despite the government's decision to raise the cap in tuition fees. With this in mind, and the current job market offering less graduate opportunities, this poses the question as to why people are still willing to continue their education.
Well, I think, higher education is all about providing people who want to learn with the opportunity to take their study up to the next level. It's obviously something they've got to consider carefully in light of the fact that there's going to be rises in tuition fees. But then again, it does increase their chances of employment. It's in a challenging economic environment. But it's clear, sort of from our statistics, that there's still a strong demand. And this in itself is a recognition of the world-class reputation that higher education has in the UK.
Students at Ravensbourne study a range of media-based courses, from design and fashion to broadcasting and sound engineering. The university has just moved to a brand new £70 million building on the Greenwich Peninsula. With industry-standard equipment and facilities, the competition for places at Ravensbourne is intense.
The amount that it was at previously, so sort of just above 3,000, was about right for like a yearly fee. I think any more than that, really, you may as well just go out and get a job.
Would I do a third year? I'm not sure, because it's a top-up course and I have to wait and see how far I've got up to that stage. If I feel like it would really benefit me, then yes, I would. If I've had job offers, or if I feel like I'm fully experienced and I've got enough to go into a business world, then yeah, I might consider leaving.
With thousands of students at the edge of their seats waiting to hear from their prospective universities, no one really knows how much more pressure the already stricken university admissions system can take as a result of these widespread cuts. Louisa Kremer, London Live.
Today, UK consumers were able to get their hands on the second iteration of Apple's popular tablet computer, the iPad. This morning, our technology correspondent, Natalie Chinya, was in Covent Garden speaking to some Apple enthusiasts who have been queuing since the early hours of the morning to get their hands on the latest touchscreen gadget.
Apple store in the world at London's Covent Garden for the UK launch of the iPad 2.
Apple says the new iPad is faster, lighter and better for video games. The latest version has a front and rear-facing camera for video calling and an improved 10-hour battery. Although it's pricey at £399 for the cheapest model, customers still say it's well worth the money.
I've been in the queue since 10:30 last night, so it's about, 12 hours maybe? No, a bit longer than that.
It is so beautiful. It's a beautiful device, that's why it is.
The build quality, the way that the operating system works is so user-friendly.
I'll be using it for sort of live events, so live coverage of events, so social media and editing live and things like that. So.
The iPad 2 was released stateside earlier this month to a fantastic reception. So much so that Apple had been unable to meet demand since launch. Still, in the face of limited supply and component shortages caused by the earthquake and tsunami disaster in Japan, Apple went ahead with the UK launch, and from the looks of things today, Brits aren't wasting any time either. But what makes the iPad so popular?
iPad is for different sort of things. MacBook is more working, like desktop, proper work. iPad, fun, or on the way to do something quickly.
It's mainly for browsing, using messages, and all the different apps that you can get for it, so it makes it so versatile.
Samsung or even BlackBerry is releasing a new tablet PC. Nothing can compare to iPad.
I think that Apple have just got it just correct, just right.
300,000 plus applications, everything's so easy. It's made for the consumer.
Apple faces stiff competition from BlackBerry, Google and Samsung. And with over 80 other tablets released this year, only time will tell who will win the mobile computing war. It looks like everyone wants to take a bite out of Apple. Natalie Chinya, London Live.
Now, putting a little trust in a stranger can take you a long way. Literally over 1,000 miles for some groups of hitchhikers who have set their sights on Morocco to raise money for charity Link Community Development. We're joined in the studio now by Jamie Pritchard, a student who will be hitchhiking in just a few weeks, and Mike Zewinner, events manager for the Link Community Development. Thank you for joining us, guys.
Hey.
So, Mike, why do you do it? What's the reasons behind it?
Well, it's primarily to raise really important money for our projects in sub-Saharan Africa. The Hitch, since it started nearly 20 years ago, has raised over £3 million. So it's our biggest fundraising event, and it makes a real difference to the work we're able to do in Africa. Yeah, it sounds fantastic. And in terms of turnout, how does it compare to last year? We're slightly down on the figures for last year at the moment, but it's still going to be one of our biggest years for the event. So we've got just under 1,000 people taking part, and they're likely to raise over £450,000 for Link Community Development. That's a great amount of money. And how do you promote the Hitch? Well, it's run officially in about 20 universities around the country, so we have volunteer student representatives who promote the event on campus, so we give them some training and all the information they need about the event, and then they go out there, they sell it to people, they hold information meetings for them early in the year, help them with their fundraising, and then do their health and safety briefings before they go. Great. And Jamie, how safe do you feel about the trek?
I think although a lot of people say my parents are really worried about me going, but they have an amazing safety record, like you've been doing it since 1992, and I'm pretty sure nothing really serious has ever happened, and thousands of people have done it so far, so I'm not worried at all. I'm really excited. That's fantastic. And have you prepared for the Hitch? Have you trained or? Not really, but I've just been doing a lot of fundraising, and yeah, but it's been going really well, and I can't wait to get going. And how do your parents feel about it? Do they? Yeah, my mum's begging me not to go. She said she hasn't been sleeping well since January because she's worried about it, but I think there's nothing to worry about at all, and I think it'll be such an inspirational experience and really different to a normal sort of trip you could do, and good for charity. Yeah, and you get to meet a lot of people while you're doing it. Yeah. I mean, there's 3 of us doing it together, but then along the way you get chances to meet up with other hitchers, and I think you were just saying that like about 1,000 people might be doing it about the same time as I'm doing it. So. Okay, great. And this is something the LCD has organised, is that right, Mike? Yeah, we organise the event centrally as a charity, so everything's done either by our volunteers or by our staff. And as Jamie says, we've been running it since 1992, and in that time we've put process upon process in there to make it really as safe and smooth running as possible. So while the event's taking place, there's a team of people in our London office who look after the participants. We've got a tracking system so that any friends, family or sponsors can come on at any point and look at their progress along the way. We've got an emergency mobile so people can be in contact with us 24 hours a day should they need to. Okay, we've actually got a clip of some other people who are talking about this event.
So, well, I chose to go to Morocco basically because it's such a long Easter holiday and I wanted to do something worthwhile, and doing it for charity is a great thing to do. So.
When you get to Morocco, first of all, you get off the ferry from Spain and you arrive in Tangier and you are free to do whatever you want. You're there having a holiday, so once you've reached your destination, you've stopped hitchhiking, take the coach to any cities or any tourist sites that you want to see, and yeah, you have your holiday.
But yeah, once we're there, really, it's sort of up to you.
It's like a little holiday when you get there.
Yeah, a little treat, you know.
Yeah.
So.
And you get to shower when you get there.
Yeah, hopefully.
I've never been travelling before, so I want to go on this journey just to see what it's like and to go on an adventure, really.
Yeah, and I wanted to do a lot of travelling while I was in university. Prague and Morocco are both really interesting places. I'd never been to either of them. And I just figured this was a really, really cool way to travel in a different way. A sort of unique experience that it's really, really good to do when you're young, when you're in university and you can do it. And it was for a really good cause, so it was kind of win-win all around.
Okay, so these are students from university who are also getting involved in the hike, is that right?
Yes.
Yep, okay. And so how are you protecting hitchhikers, Mike?
Well, as I said just now, they're tracked every step of the journey. They have to be in touch with us every day by 4 p.m. And if they're not, we get straight in contact with the groups that are on the road. There also have to be 2 or 3 in each group, and at least 1 male in each group. So what we try and put across to worried parents like Jamie's, perhaps.
I'm actually going to have to stop you there, but thank you very much for coming in, and really good luck to both of you for it. Wish you the best of luck. Now, with films, games and even mobile phones all going 3D, our correspondent Tom Long went to the Broadcast Video Exposition to find out how new developments in technology could change the way we watch television forever.
Today I'm at Broadcast Video Expo Earls Court, where hundreds of international broadcasters come together to share new technologies. I'm going to be looking at how these new technologies affect the broadcast industry.
The Broadcast Video Expo is a yearly event that encourages companies to showcase their new products and innovations. From Sony and Panasonic to Arri and Vinton, they share ideas based around emerging technology. Thousands of industry professionals and enthusiastic consumers attend the event to find out what the different companies are developing.
There's a lot of interest this year around 3D. That's really one of the key areas, and I think production costs are one of the main concerns of the industry, and that's why we bought our AG3D-A1, which is an integrated all-in-one solution. You can capture 3D all-in-one camcorder, and it really shows Panasonic's commitment to 3D and the growth of the 3D market.
So 3D seems to be a major focus this year, but what does this mean for the industry, and in particular, young professionals who are still studying?
3D for us is a really important thing for both our undergraduate and our postgraduate programs. We're actually launching 2 new MAs, stroke MSCs, in September, October time. The first one is going to be an MA in stereoscopic media, and the second in stereoscopic animation. So this is a way that our undergrad students who get a bit of a flavour for 3D early on, they can progress and actually study it specifically at MA level. This rig belongs to Ravensbourne, so do the cameras and the screen over there. And so, yeah, we're basically trying to make sure that we're on the cutting edge of technology, along with all of these other people around here.
From speaking to different broadcasters here at BVE today, it's become quite apparent that 3D is one of the fastest developing technologies. A minority of the UK audience already have a 3D TV, but this now poses the question, how long will it be before every household in Britain has a 3D TV? Tom Long, London Live.
The London Underground is considered the life pulse of the capital, serving 270 stations and carrying millions of passengers across 11 lines. But how do Transport for London plan to accommodate the inevitable future increase of commuters? Ian Yoga visited the Crossrail Centre to find out how the proposal for a brand new rail line aims to solve the problem.
Every day, London's world-famous tube network carries thousands of people across the capital, be it from taking the kids to school, going to work, or even doing a weekly shop. People want to get to where they want to go in the shortest possible time. Recently, however, it has become more and more apparent that London's Underground, which was opened in 1863, has become more and more radically overcrowded, especially at peak times, and some may say unfit for purpose. With the capital's population expected to reach 8.3 million by 2018, it's clear that Transport for London has a major challenge on its hands if it's going to be able to meet future demand. So how exactly do TfL plan to ease the strain? Today I'm joined by Simon Bennett, Head of Stakeholder Engagement for Crossrail. So Simon, in a nutshell, what is Crossrail?
Particularly on the east-west route through London, Crossrail is an entirely new service. It offers 10% in total increase in capacity in the central area. It offers massive reduction of congestion on the central line because people will move to Crossrail off of the central line. And in fact, some people will be able to make journeys which use part of the Crossrail route for their journey, decongesting the other underground lines. So it'll reduce the numbers of people on each London Underground railway.
A project of this size can require quite a lot of work. What benefits can the London job market expect to see as a result of Crossrail's involvement?
Well, we are very keen on ensuring that our contractors deliver jobs to people within London. We've made commitments to Parliament to do that, and of course it's the right thing to do in any case. We're looking to employ 400 apprentices at least over the life of the project, and depending on the value of contracts, our contractors are required to deliver training to bring staff up and to increase the skills in construction, which will be a benefit to the country as a whole.
Digging large tunnels under the capital can create quite a lot of waste and pollution. How will Crossrail address these issues?
In terms of excavated material, what we aim to do is maximise the amount of material that we take away from London by means other than lorries. There are two other ways. One is by train and the other is by barge. And the place where our tunnel boring machines we put into the ground, which is of course where the excavated material that comes out the back of the tunnel boring machine will arise, are at Royal Oak outside Paddington, and there we'll be able to load that material onto trains. And at near Canning Town there's a place called Limo Peninsula, which is on the River Lee, and there we will load that material onto barges. Material from there, and then the other material will just come round by rail, will be taken out to Essex, and is going to be used by the RSPB to raise the land level at a place which will become a nature reserve.
With the foundations being laid as I speak, Transport for London hopes to have Crossrail ready and operational by 2018. It's still a while off, but the question remains, how will the current tube network cope with the ever-increasing demand? Ian Yoga, London Live.
OK, over to Louisa now for a check on the weather. She's outside the O2.
Yes, indeed, Gracie. And don't be too envious of me out here in this lovely weather while you're in the studio. It is indeed a lovely day. The rain we had last week has cleared and it's left us with milder air. Now there's still some cloud up there in the sky, but as you can see, nothing seems to be falling, so it may just be a bit damp underfoot for the next couple of days. Overnight, it's going to be very mild, but still rather cloudy, and that expansive blanket of cloud, well, that's going to keep us relatively warm. Overnight temperatures, we're going to be seeing about 8 degrees Celsius, and that really isn't that bad for this time of year. On to tomorrow, well, we're going to see a rather dull start to the day, but with tomorrow we will also see a thinning of that cloud I just mentioned, and that could possibly mean another day just like today. It could promise a higher rise in temperatures, possibly about 13 or 14 degrees in Celsius, brighter skies, and also more sun throughout the afternoon. Now, if anyone needs to know, that Celsius reading of 14 is also a balmy 57 in Fahrenheit. As for the weekend, it's looking more mixed. We're getting sunshine and showers for our weekend forecast. So the outlook stands as follows. We have a southwesterly wind pushing our temperatures up into Saturday, and then a northwesterly wind pushing them back down for the latter part of the weekend. So it looks like we're going to have our heaviest showers on Sunday itself. So I'm afraid, Gracie, limited parasol use this week, and possibly back to our trusted umbrellas. So while the weather is nice, I think I'm going to enjoy it. And I'm sorry that you can't join me, but it's back to the studio.
Thanks so much, Louisa. Now you can see all the stories that featured on today's programme on our website. That's londonlive.co.uk. I'll be back with the latest for you tomorrow, same time, same place. Until then, from me and all the team here, thanks very much for watching and enjoy your evening. Goodbye.